First Contact and Deception. The ESS Defiant drifted silently through the void, its quantum sensors prodding the ancient ruins floating before them. Captain Sarah Chen watched the holographic display with practiced patience, her dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of data streams. After 6 months of deep space exploration, they'd finally found something extraordinary. "Captain, you need to see this," Dr. Marcus Wong called from his station. The xenoarchaeologist's fingers danced across floating interfaces as he compiled his findings. "These ruins, they're not dead. There's still power flowing through systems that must be millions of years old." Before Chen could respond, the ship's AI announced an incoming transmission. The massive holographic screen at the bridge's center flickered to life, revealing a sight that made history: humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. The Zoraxians appeared almost ethereal, tall, crystalline beings that seemed to pulse with internal light. Their spokesperson, who called itself Ambassador Exor, spoke in perfect English, claiming their universal translators had already analyzed Earth's communications. "We come in peace," Exor announced, its form shimmering with what appeared to be genuine warmth. "We are the Zoraxians, guardians of the galaxy's ancient heritage. We've watched your species' development with great interest." Over the next few weeks, the Zoraxians shared incredible technological insights with the crew of the Defiant. They spoke of a galactic community, of trade routes and cultural exchanges, of lifting humanity into a new age of prosperity. But something didn't sit right with Chen. Late one night, she found Dr. Wong in his lab, analyzing Zoraxian technology. "Their story doesn't add up," he whispered, showing her his findings. "These guardians, their tech is based on the same principles as the ruins, but it's wrong. Like they're using copied homework without understanding the underlying math." Chen had already noticed discrepancies. The way the Zoraxians deflected questions about other species, their excessive interest in Earth's military capabilities, their insistence on conducting all diplomatic meetings in space rather than on Earth. She made a decision that would change the course of human history. Without informing their alien guests, she sent encrypted quantum transmissions back to Earth. "Prepare for the worst. They're lying to us." Earth's greatest minds worked in secret, developing countermeasures based on the principles they observed in both the ruins and Zoraxian technology. They knew they were in a race against time, preparing defenses against an enemy that hadn't yet shown its true face. As the Defiant continued its diplomatic mission, Earth transformed. Hidden facilities sprang up in asteroid belts and beneath ocean floors. The quantum technology Dr. Wong had discovered in the ruins was adapted, improved, and weaponized in ways the Zoraxians couldn't predict. Because humans approached it with fresh eyes and desperate innovation. 3 months into first contact, Chen received the message she'd been dreading. Massive Zoraxian fleets were assembling at the edge of detected space, but humanity wasn't the primitive species they expected to find. Thanks to Chen's warning and humanity's furious preparation, Earth was ready. The real question wasn't whether there would be war. It was whether the Zoraxians knew what they were about to face, a species that had turned survival into an art form. The betrayal unveiled. The Zoraxian betrayal came during Earth's Harvest Festival. Their massive fleet dropped out of hyperspace simultaneously across 12 colonial systems, expecting easy victories against primitive human defenses. They found something else entirely. Admiral Chen watched from the bridge of humanity's first quantum battleship, the Terra's Vengeance, as the Zoraxian fleet approached Mars colony. Their formation was perfect, their technology seemingly insurmountable, but they had made one critical mistake. They had given humans time to prepare. "All ships, execute Protocol Prometheus," Chen ordered. Across the solar system, humanity's defense fleet shimmered and it seemed to multiply. The quantum mirrors Dr. Wong had developed created thousands of perfect replicas, each indistinguishable from the real ships. The Zoraxian targeting systems, designed to track conventional vessels, went into overdrive trying to identify the true threats. The alien commander's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Your deception is futile. Your species will serve as labor in our crystal mines, as all primitive races must." Chen's response was not in words but in action. The Terra's vengeance activated its primary weapon, not a conventional gun, but a quantum field that turned the Zoraxians' own energy signatures against them. Their shields, designed to deflect external attacks, had no defense against their own frequencies being reflected and amplified. The battle above Mars became a legend that would be told across galaxies. Human ships, drastically outnumbered but armed with impossible technologies, danced through Zoraxian formations. Each human vessel moved with unpredictable patterns based on chaos theory algorithms that no alien targeting computer could track. In the midst of the chaos, Dr. Wong made a discovery that changed everything. "Their ships," he reported from his laboratory deep within Terra's vengeance, "they're all connected to a quantum network. They're not individual vessels. They're extensions of a single consciousness." This revelation was the key humanity needed. While the Zoraxian fleet focused on physical combat, human quantum specialists launched a different kind of attack. They didn't target the ships, they targeted the network itself, introducing human consciousness patterns that the rigid Zoraxian group mind couldn't process. The effect was devastating. Zoraxian ships began to move erratically, their perfect formation dissolving into chaos. Some vessels simply shut down, their crews overwhelmed by the introduction of individual thought into their collective consciousness. Others turned on each other, their targeting systems confused by the quantum noise humanity had introduced into their network. As the battle turned, Chen received reports from across the solar system. The story was the same everywhere. Humanity's quantum defenses were holding. The Zoraxian invasion, expected to be a simple subjugation of a primitive species, had become a costly failure. But victory came with a price. The quantum technology that saved Earth had changed those who used it. Human operators connected to the defense systems reported strange experiences, glimpses of possible futures, echoes of parallel realities. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had evolved. In the aftermath, as the surviving Zoraxian ships retreated in disarray, Chen stood at her viewport watching Mars shimmer through the quantum distortions that still lingered in space. "Send a message to Earth Command," she ordered. "The Zoraxians will return, and next time they'll be ready for our current defenses. We need to push our technology further. It's time for Phase 2. The real war, she knew, was just beginning. But humanity had proven something extraordinary. When backed into a corner, humans don't just fight back. They change the rules of the game itself. Humanity's counterstrike. The quantum laboratories beneath Earth's Pacific Ocean hummed with possibility. 3 months after the failed Zoraxian invasion, Dr. Wong stood before a holographic representation of his latest creation, the neural quantum interface. Around him, the brightest minds from every human colony worked to merge human consciousness with quantum technology in ways the Zoraxians never imagined possible. "The advantage of human minds," Wong explained to Admiral Chen, "is our chaos, our ability to embrace contradiction, to think irrationally, to dream. We're embedding these patterns into our quantum systems." The first test of humanity's new approach came sooner than expected. Zoraxian scout ships appeared at the edge of the Alpha Centauri system, their technology modified to counter Earth's previous defenses. But humanity had moved beyond mere technological warfare. The Terra's vengeance, now equipped with the neural interface, approached the Zoraxian fleet. This time, instead of traditional combat, they launched a consciousness attack. Human operators, connected through the quantum network, projected their dreams, fears, and imaginations directly into the Zoraxian group mind. The effect was catastrophic for the crystalline beings. Their rigid, hierarchical consciousness couldn't process the flood of human emotion and creativity. Ships began to break formation as their crews experienced individual thoughts for the first time in their species' history. But the real breakthrough came from an unexpected source. During the engagement, a young quantum operator named Maya Patel discovered she could not just attack the Zoraxian network, she could access their memories. Through the quantum link, she uncovered the truth about their empire. The Zoraxians weren't conquerors by choice. They were prisoners of their own technology, locked into a group mind that had evolved to prioritize expansion and control above all else. Their invasion of Earth wasn't just about conquest. It was about fear. Fear of a species that could think independently, that could innovate and adapt. Chen saw an opportunity. Instead of merely defending human space, they could liberate the Zoraxians from their own technological prison. She ordered a new kind of attack, targeted quantum pulses designed not to destroy, but to awaken individual consciousness within the Zoraxian collective. The battle that followed wasn't fought with weapons, but with ideas. Human operators projected memories of art, music, and individual achievement into the Zoraxian network. They showed them what it meant to think independently, to feel, to create. Some Zoraxian ships turned on each other as their crews began to break free from the collective consciousness. Others simply stopped responding, their crews overwhelmed by their first experience of individual thought. A few, led by younger Zoraxians more adaptable to change, began broadcasting surrender signals. As the dust settled, humanity had gained more than a military victory. They had discovered a way to free minds trapped by technological conformity. The captured Zoraxian ships revealed databases full of information about other species similarly enslaved across the galaxy. Admiral Chen sent a message to Earth Command. Phase 3 ahead of schedule. We found allies. The war for galactic freedom begins now. The alliance forms. The liberated Zoraxian ships led humanity to others. The telepathic Meridians, trapped in orbital prisons. The silicon-based Quartz Collective, forced to mine their own people for the Empire. The gaseous Nebulans, contained within compression fields. Each species had faced the same choice: submission or extinction. Each had chosen survival, until humanity showed them a third option. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the Terra's Vengeance, surrounded by representatives from 20 different species. Through quantum translators, they shared stories of subjugation and resistance. But more importantly, they shared knowledge. The Meridians taught humanity to enhance their quantum networks with telepathic resonance. The Quartz Collective provided crystalline matrices that could store vast amounts of consciousness data. The Nebulans shared their understanding of space-time manipulation that made their ships nearly impossible to target. Dr. Wong worked tirelessly with alien scientists to integrate these technologies. The result was the Liberation Protocol, a quantum virus that could free entire sectors from Zoraxian control with a single transmission. But its development came with a warning from the oldest of the Meridian Elders. The Zoraxian group mind is evolving, she explained, her thoughts translated through the quantum field. It's learning from each encounter, adapting its control mechanisms. Soon, it will be able to resist our attempts at liberation. The Alliance faced a choice: strike immediately with an untested weapon, or wait and risk losing their advantage. The decision was made for them when long-range sensors detected a massive Zoraxian fleet approaching from the galaxy's core, the largest concentration of ships ever recorded. This wasn't just a battle fleet, it was a purge force designed to eliminate any species that showed signs of resistance. The Alliance had 3 days to prepare. Chen gathered the alien representatives in the ship's quantum chamber. "We've each fought alone and lost," she said. "We've tried to resist their technology with technology, but our strength isn't in our weapons, it's in our diversity, our ability to think, feel, and fight as individuals while working together." The plan they developed was audacious. Instead of fighting the Zoraxian fleet directly, they would use the combined psychic, quantum, and physical technologies of all species to create a consciousness wave, a tsunami of individuality and emotion that would wash over the enemy fleet. As the Zoraxian armada approached, the Alliance ships formed a spiral pattern, each vessel linked through quantum networks enhanced by Meridian telepathy, stabilized by quartz matrices, and phase-shifted by Nebulan space-time manipulation. At the center, Human quantum operators prepared to broadcast the accumulated experiences, emotions, and dreams of 20 species. The fate of the galaxy would be decided not by who had the strongest weapons, but by whose way of life would endure. The cold efficiency of forced unity, or the beautiful chaos of collaborative diversity. Final confrontation. The consciousness wave hit the Zoraxian fleet like a supernova of emotion and memory. 20 species worth of joy, pain, love, and defiance slammed into the rigid hierarchy of the group mind. Ships spun out of formation as individual Zoraxians experienced personal thoughts for the first time in generations. But the group mind fought back. It had evolved defenses, creating quantum barriers that attempted to filter out the foreign consciousness patterns. The battle became a war of reality itself, the structured, orderly universe of the Zoraxian collective against the chaotic, beautiful diversity of the Alliance. Admiral Chen watched as the quantum readings went critical. Their defenses are adapting, Dr. Wang reported, his hands flying over the neural interface. The group mind is learning to process and reject individual consciousness patterns. That's when Maya Patel made the discovery that would change everything. Through her quantum link, she noticed something in the Zoraxian defense patterns, a rhythm, a pulse, like a heartbeat. It's not rejecting the patterns, she realized. It's afraid of them. The group mind isn't just a control system. It's alive, and it's terrified of change. Chen understood immediately. All ships, switch tactics. Don't force the patterns, share them. Show the group mind what it could become. The Alliance fleet adjusted their quantum broadcast. Instead of attacking with raw consciousness data, they began sharing visions of possibility. Zoraxians living as individuals while maintaining voluntary connections, the strength of chosen unity rather than forced conformity. They showed the group mind futures where it could evolve rather than merely control. The effect rippled through the enemy fleet like a wave of awakening. Ship after ship fell silent as their crews experienced something new, hope. The rigid quantum barriers of the group mind began to shift, not breaking but transforming, becoming permeable, allowing individual consciousness to flow while maintaining connections. In the end, it wasn't humanity's weapons that won the war. It was their ability to imagine and offer a better way. The Zoraxian fleet didn't surrender in the traditional sense. Instead, it transformed, each ship becoming a cradle of newly awakened individual consciousness, linked by choice rather than control. Months later, Chen stood in the Great Hall of the new Galactic Council, watching representatives from all species, including newly individualized Zoraxians, work together to build a different kind of civilization. The quantum networks still existed, but now they served as bridges between minds rather than chains. Dr. Wang approached her with a smile, holding his latest quantum readings. The consciousness patterns are stabilizing across all species, he reported. Even the group mind has found a new purpose. It's becoming a library of shared experience, a way for individuals to connect without losing themselves. Maya Patel, now head of the Interspecies Quantum Communication Project, joined them. We're receiving signals from other galaxies, she said. Other group minds, other enslaved species. They're asking for help. Chen looked out at the assembled representatives of the free galaxy. Humanity had come to the stars expecting to find either friends or enemies. Instead, they'd found beings waiting to be awakened, and in awakening others, they'd evolved themselves. Send a message to Earth Command, she ordered. Tell them to prep the Liberation Fleet. We've got a universe of minds to free. The quantum networks hummed with possibility as the Alliance prepared for their next great adventure. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if reflecting the light of billions of newly awakened consciousnesses, each one unique, each one free, each one part of the greatest revolution the galaxy had ever known. The terror from Terra had transformed into the hope of the galaxy, and the real story was just beginning. The end.